they always say they always gonna try to do something crazy. I just knew they was to do something. But like I said, the powers that be, it's easy to put something to blame on the parents all the time. And then even we that are living in the black neighborhoods or the black community, we say the same thing, man. The parents need to be held accountable. But what about the parents that's working 9 to 5 jobs? They're working over 8 hours a day, 13, 14, 15 hours a day just to make ends meet because y'all know everything going up, the gas price going up, food going up, living, everything is going up. So at the end of the day, why would you take the power out of the parents' hands? The parents can no longer discipline their child because if you discipline a child, you put a little whack on the child, you smack the child too hard on the rear end, on the back, or the arm, or do anything like that. The first thing they want to do CPS. You want to throw them in jail. You want to kill their clearance if they work in the government. You know, their clearance goes out the window. All those type of things goes out the window. But at the end of the day, it's crazy that all of a sudden now, all these years went by, and all of a sudden now you want to charge the parents. Now, to a certain extent, I see some parents, because you got a lot of young parents that got these kids, and the kids wild out just like they, like them. Because a lot of these young girls have had a baby 12, 13 years old, and a baby down there, their son or daughter down there growing up with them. Um, you got them all. They going to the clubs, they drinking, they partying, but they doing everything that they shouldn't be as parents. But you can't fault them because it's children having children. That's what's happening. But here in DC now, they made a new law for the people that don't know. Y'all about to, if y'all don't look at the news, I don't like to look at the news, it's depressing. Well, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Not only leave a comment, get on social media. Social media gonna talk about it. They gonna give you the real news. They ain't gonna give you this fake news. But this is real news that you should want to use, especially if you live in Washington D.C. area. You want to use this information because at the end of the day, these people are not playing with it. They trying to actually put you in jail for iniquities of your child. Well, what your child do, they want to give you 6 months. So just imagine, that's the thing right now. That's why we're in a lot of trouble. Then we get a lot of fathers is missing, fathers in jail, incarcerated, mothers in jail. So the children out here running wild. They don't know what to do. They hang with the wrong crowd. And really, you got some good kids out here. You really do. You have some good kids, some well-mannered kids. But once they get around that crowd, when they got to fake like they be other than themselves. This is the type of stuff you have. Anyway, we get right to this video. So make sure you like, share, not on that, leave a comment, tell me what you think. We're gonna get right ahead. And this is happening in DC. It might happen everywhere. They're trying to put parents in jail because their children doing crazy stuff.
Welcome, I'm Josh Chapin, DC's top prosecutor, rolling out a new plan to crack down on juvenile crime as we get closer to the summer break. The U.S. Attorney for DC, Janine Pirro, says her office will start charging parents if their kids are involved in so-called teen takeovers.
My office will aggressively prosecute parents under DC's curfew law. And the specific statute that we will use is a violation of DC Code 22-811. This statute makes it unlawful for an adult to enable, facilitate, or permit a minor to engage in delinquent acts. The penalty is up to 6 months imprisonment.
This is an issue we have covered extensively, notably in Navy Yard, where 7 News has seen hundreds of teens gathering on the weekends, getting into fights, and in some cases, assaulting police officers. Our Felicia Ashley went into the community tonight, got reaction from people in Navy Yard.
I went back to the neighborhood commissioners and parents who said that they wanted something done after seeing some of the destructive behavior when swarms of teens and kids would flood to Navy Yard. U.S. Attorney Pirro said this is the first weekend that they could start prosecuting the parents. Is this that accountability you all were looking for?
Not exactly. I think it's federal overreach. The accountability that I was talking about really needs to happen on a local level. Like we need to start investing more in our communities and our families.
Is this the answer you're looking for?
It is. I'm honestly happy with the accountability piece of this when it comes to parental accountability because we've dealt with this now for a year.
Nick Wilson is a parent of teens and a neighborhood commissioner in Navy Yard.
One, we don't want the teens coming in and committing crimes and causing troubles. But also, one of the things that we found out when we talk to teens is sometimes coming out is better than what's going on in their households.
Edward Daniels is also a commissioner who says he's for Pirro's actions, but not the method.
Her means of addressing the situation, I think that we can address this with local resources, meaning NPD. I don't think that we need federal resources.
If you drop your kid off and you fail to supervise them or you let them skip school to join the chaos, you are going to face fines, court-ordered classes, and possible jail time.
Policing and putting people in jail is actually kind of how we got to where we're at now. There's no one at home because they got locked up and thrown in jail. We're not going to police our way out of this situation.
I agree with holding parents accountable for the activity of their kids, especially those that have just turned a blind eye to what the kids are doing.
We have hardworking moms and dads. I don't feel like they
That's
need
right.
to be punished because they're working hard and 9 to 5 or sometimes a 4 to 12 or whatever it happens to be.
It sends a clear message to the parents that you must supervise your kids or face criminal consequences.
Now you heard that, right? You heard that biggest
My
day.
local mayor wanted to
Y'all heard that biggest day say you must watch your kids or face consequences, harsher consequences. When you say harsh consequences, you talking about actually consequences when you actually want to lock these people
Today
up.
we announce a new summer
Yeah,
surge
this is
to
her.
increase law enforcement visibility
Listen.
and expanded coordinated operation.
And once again, how many parents you know? Come on, man. This make really think logic. How many parents you working 9 to 5 jobs, 9 to 5 or 4 to 12 or whatever, that's actually taking their kids down there just to do all this carnage out here? Come on, man. Make it make sense. But now you're talking about locking the parents up. So if you lock the parents up for 6 months, who is going to be there to fend for the children then? Then what you gonna do? Make it make sense now. We got to play. We got to pick a side. We're gonna let the parents put some discipline in the child, or you gonna let the child put the discipline in the parent? Which one it is? And then y'all gonna put the discipline in the child, but in a harsh way where y'all not gonna be charged with. Y'all ain't gonna be charged for delinquency of a child or what you call it, assault on a juvenile, none of that. Y'all don't get charged for that. The parents get that. Or you know, you hit your child, you put a little mark or whip on their back, it's a problem. But once again, this is happening in Washington, D.C.
Reclaim peace and tranquility.
Listen,
Since I took office, and it's been 1 year, on May 14th of 2025, we have secured in my office over 7,000 convictions. So this isn't just about arrests. We are convicting these people. Almost 80 homicide convictions, almost 1,000 illegal firearm convictions, over 900 narcotics offense convictions, 460 violent crime convictions, 43 carjacking convictions, and over 125 robbery convictions. And as the United States Attorney, I will continue to use all of my powers to make sure that we use every tool available in our arsenal to make
I'm
the
doing
arrests
great.
that
How
are
you doing?
being conducted by these agencies stick and to get convictions. However,
listen.
there is one area in Washington, D.C.,
Mhm.
that has seen more than its share of one problem.
Make sure you
Teen
like, share, subscribe to my
takeovers.
channel here.
These takeovers have
Yes, it is.
terrorized our neighborhoods. They have shut down
They're
businesses.
talking about
And they
juveniles
have
now.
wasted hard-earned tax dollars of law-abiding residents who just want to live and work in peace. Those takeovers in places like the Navy Yard
Number
and
one.
Noma
Thank
often
you.
lead to
Appreciate it.
disorderly conduct, assaults, robberies, and fights. Mayor Muriel Bowser has repeatedly requested curfew zones and emergency measures, while the DC Council refuses to deal with the problem. And I'm going to say that again. Where the DC Council that passes the laws refuses to deal with the problem. And their lack of action creates an extremely dangerous situation for the people of the district and even the teens themselves.
Correct.
And as we grapple with this problem, there is one area that hasn't been discussed. Parental involvement has been a noted gap in any discussion. And I am here to say, as the United States Attorney in the District of Columbia, that ends today. Starting today, my office will aggressively prosecute parents under DC's
Wow.
curfew law and the specific statute.
Now, let's hop right in. Then once again, you got parents that are working hard. They don't, you know, if you a parent and you work from like 4 o'clock, you don't get off till 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock that morning. How can you actually know where your child is at. Now you can have on the phone and say, their location. They can leave their phone at home and go out with their friends. But you're talking about now putting parents in jail for 6 months. Make that make sense. You put them in 6 months. What the child gonna do then? Because the parent, you didn't put the child in the jail because the child is the one out there committing the crime. The parents is trying to work and come home, and all of a sudden you got the police at their door say, "Oh, you need to come with me." Make it make sense. This is happening in Washington D.C. now. Don't get me wrong. I don't know how too many. I can't really fathom in my head that parents are actually dropping their kids off down there at the Navy Yard or over the other place in Washington D.C. to commit all these acts of violence or robberies or whatever they're doing, assaults and things like that. I just don't believe that a parent will actually put their child in harm's way because something happened to the child. But what about the parents, like I said, that's working hard, got high class, I mean, a high security, high security, you know, positions and things like that that need their clearance, need clearance. And then if you take their clearance, well, how can they take care of the child? Make it make sense. Now, I got to play what y'all want to do now.
We will use is a violation of DC Code 22-811.
And they serious about
and
this.
it involves contributing to the delinquency of a minor.
Wow.
This statute makes it unlawful for an adult to enable, facilitate, or permit a minor to engage in delinquent acts. The penalty is up to 6 months imprisonment. So if the evidence shows the parent knew or should have known or permitted
Wow.
or failed to prevent participation, we're going to charge them. And if you drop your kid off and you fail to supervise them or you let them skip school to join the chaos, you are going to face fines, court-ordered classes, and possible jail time. Penalties can be imposed even if the juvenile minor is not prosecuted.
Wow.
So a parent commits this
on the parent
offense
now.
if they permit or by insufficient control allow a minor under the age of 18 to violate a curfew. Now we're going to be asking the Metropolitan Police Department to issue parental citations whenever a minor's curfew violation is tied to a takeover. We will seek to pair these citations with mandatory parental notification and court-mandated parental classes or family counseling as a condition of the resolution of the case. The shame of this is that we are protecting your children, the ones who may join a teen takeover out of simple curiosity because you won't, because we don't want your child victimized. So we now have to step into your shoes, parents, to make sure that your child is not victimized. This doesn't require new legislation, folks. It's all there. And it sends a clear message to the parents. You must supervise your kids or face criminal consequences. Law-abiding taxpayers should no longer have to pay for parental neglect. And as we take back our streets, as you've heard today, there will be no excuses. Parents, do your jobs, or we will do ours. And
y'all heard what they said. Parents, do your job, or we will do ours. Meaning they will go upside their head. They would do any means necessary, even deleting your child. We're gonna keep it 100. Even if it causes us one of these officers to delete your child because your child is so out of control. And you got some of these kids that's so big, girls and boys, so big, bigger than some of these police officers, so aggressive now with that aggressive behavior. So when these was going in jackets and wearing these hoodies, these officers, they're not trained for this. They don't know if the child is boy or girl have a weapon. And when they release that beast on them, you can't get mad about it because they said he shouldn't have been there. So there gonna be no, we're gonna sue DC for the deleting of my child. That's not gonna happen anymore. They're trying to literally tell you your ass is going to jail, and your child gonna be home. So if you go to jail, who gonna provide for your child? Make it make sense. Who's gonna provide for your child? Your house gonna be gone within 6 months, or wherever you might live, an apartment or wherever you live, low income places where people just really work and trying to work hard. They don't have time to go to work to try to keep a roof over their head and food in the house and pay bills and worrying about where their child when you go to work at 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening, 8, 7, 8, 9 o'clock, your kid is down Navy Yard doing calls and chaos and ruckus. Make it make sense.
And taxpayers will no longer subsidize the chaos caused by parental neglect. So
Right,
parents,
parental
if
neglect.
you don't control your kids, the district will. And as we
Hey, and that's real talk. They are not playing with this. So at the end of the day, control your kids, or they can control them for you. That's what she said.